GroundUp is a podcast for mold breakers,
risk takers,
hustlers,
and trailblazers. We're going to be telling the stories of exceptional and entrepreneurial people on the stories that define their lives.
It's those fuck it moments
when they took that leap of faith.
The people that wear both their failures and successes on their sleeves.
It's a raw and unfiltered narrative.
It's both the good and the bad of building a movement from the ground up.
Tune in, GroundUp. What's up, guys? This is episode 3 of GroundUp. We made it. I feel like since we made it to episode 3, it's like legit now. It's like a legit podcast. Like, we're not going anywhere.
We're actually doing it.
We're here to stay, baby.
We're here to stay. Welcome, everybody. It's been super exciting doing this for the last couple episodes. So we're super excited about today's episode. But before we get started, I think we got to give a quick shout out to the birthday princess.
The birthday diva, yeah.
Birthday queen over
Jordan.
I love the attention until, like, I always want the mic in my hand, and then the second people put me on the spot and, like, demand it, I get all nervous about it.
Oh, you're nervous right now? He's sweating.
I'm so grateful. I had an incredible year.
Look, he goes right into a speech. I'm sorry. He goes right into like a prepared speech.
I'll give another toast later. But seriously, this year has been incredible, and I'm so grateful for the two of you. We'll get into this one as well on our left, but it's been so great, and I really attribute it all to surrounding myself with the right people. And you guys are two of them, and Sam also behind the camera over here. But I hope that 26 is as good as 25 was to me, because it was a pretty remarkable year.
That's if you can make it past tonight.
Exactly.
That is amazing. I was going to ask you what your greatest insight from 25 was.
My greatest insight from 25 was never be afraid to talk to anyone.
Oh, come on. That was in like the last days of 25.
Yeah. And surround yourself with the right people. We'll talk about this today as well with Kel, but energy is contagious. Having positive people around you and people that believe in you is the most important thing out there. So that's the best thing, is surrounding yourself with the right people.
Well, I agree. Jordan, happy birthday. Catherine
Thanks,
and
love.
Can we do a quick cheers?
Yeah,
Yes.
Thanks for the
Happy
cupcakes.
birthday.
Wait, quick. Cheers.
Cheers.
Just quick story. I bought Jordan cupcakes, and I was rushing over here so much that they all crushed, and they are done. And
can we say this is the most Abby thing to ever happen?
So like excited. Open my cupcakes.
I'm going to film it, and it's just destroyed. All right. Well, Jordan, so happy to have you here on your birthday. Kel, so happy to have you here on Jordan's birthday.
Me too. I feel like we're already friends.
I know, right? We've had a good time here prepping for this podcast. But so let's just jump right into it. So I want to introduce our guest for today's episode, Kelly Brabants.
Yay.
Fitness influencer, founder of Booty by Brabants. It's a fitness and lifestyle brand that's literally taking over Boston right now. I just want to say this quick thing, mission statement from your site that I love. Her brand is inspired by her own values. It's self-confidence, unrelenting dedication to health and fitness, and her Brazilian roots. She's a trained dancer, a certified personal trainer, and she's taught professionally in some of like America's most prestigious gyms. She has a leggings and fitness clothing brand, and literally everybody wears them in Boston, and I am wearing a pair right.
Quick plug.
And I'm not even gonna hype Kelly up more than I already have. But they are so comfortable, and I'm plugging you shamelessly.
Oh my God, I love you, and I'm gonna be plugging you guys shamelessly too.
Literally. So I'm so excited to have her here, not just because of everything that she's built, but her energy is contagious, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear her story. So let's just jump right into it.
Kel.
Yeah, thank you
guys. I'm so excited.
So
I
just want you to tell your story, right? I want this to be a platform for you to tell everything that you've done, because it's so amazing. So I just want you to jump right into it, right? Like, where did it all begin? Where did your drive come from? Where did your ambition come from? What made you who you are today?
Awesome. So I tell this to people all the time. I think that what I'm doing now is kind of my destiny, because at a young age, I just was always such a driven person. I mean, I was born that way. I definitely think I was born an entrepreneur. I started dancing at a young age, 3 years old, competitively dancing at 9. And right around 9, 10 is when my family really started to realize, like, this kid is crazy. Like, she's serious about dance. I would be missing family vacations, like
to dance.
To dance.
Really?
And yeah, I mean, I would miss family vacations. I wouldn't hang out with my friends because I'd just want to be at the studio. And then when I wasn't at the studio, I'd beg my parents to bring my dance teachers to my basement and give me private ballet lessons. And that's not really normal for 11, 12-year-old to really want to be dancing 12 hours a day on a Saturday instead of out playing with their friends. And even on some of my Instagram, I post some videos of like summertime down the Cape. We had a summer house, and I'm one of 7 siblings, and they'd all be swimming outside, and I'd be moving the chairs and the tables in the kitchen and dancing and making my mom film me. And I'd be like, "Thank you, Las Vegas." And I would like start running around like pretending like I had an audience in front of me. And it's funny because all my friends like who've known me since I was young, they put like the hashtag "Thank you, Las Vegas," because like they'd be at my house and I'd be like, "You guys just sit and watch, like let's do a show, let's put it together, like I'll do the choreography."
Oh my God.
And they're like, "Kelly, we really don't want to do this." And I'm like, "Please, like and then I would like stand outside, literally, so I would make up a girl group like Spice Girls, and I would beg them to do rehearsals with me. And this is like a true story. And then I'd be like outside on the side of the road, like with a piece of paper saying like, "Come to our show, like this is a ticket." And I'd be like driving down, like people have lemonade stands. Yeah. I'd be selling tickets to this like, fake show, and people would drive down and be like, "Hey," like roll down their window, like, "Hey, we're having this huge show in my backyard." We ended up never having the show. Long story short, people would just give us money, like, and like, "I don't know, you're crazy, but like, good for you. Like, keep going, keep dreaming, kid." And yeah, so like that kind of really, and it's just something that like wasn't normal, and like I knew that I at a young age was going to be doing something that was different, and I was always going against the grain. Like since like a young kid, like my friends would be doing one thing and I'd be like, "Cool, but I'm doing the other thing." Like no one's done it before, but I'm not scared to try. And
where do you think that stemmed from? Yeah. You know, like where do you think?
To be honest, because it's so organic and it's so like true. Like everything I'm saying is like so obviously accurate, but like it's when you say it out loud, it's kind of shocking. And in a way, I look back now and I'm like, I was born with it. I don't think that it's something that you can like try to be like, because my siblings sometimes say like they're so different than me. Yeah, and they're like, I don't know how you do it. Like it's just I've been doing this since such a young. It just like came natural to just want to do things that I felt like I wanted to do. Like if I wanted to do it, there's no one stopping me. Like no matter what, if I had my and I'm still like this today. If my mind's set on something, it's 100% happening. And my mom says it. Everyone says it in my family. They're like, if Kelly says it's happening, it's happening. Like, my dad doesn't even worry about it anymore. Like kind of flashing back to us working together now. It's like if I tell him like this is what's gonna happen in 6 months, he used to be like, I don't believe you, like because I wouldn't. Because now I'm proving to him slowly. Yeah. Over the years, 28 years, I've proven to him so many times that I can make it happen. It's gonna happen. My dreams, yeah, they might sound crazy and big, but I believe that there's a way to make it. Stop. And now he's hunger. Like, it's the hunger. I'm so hungry. And now he's like, all right, if she says it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. It might sound crazy, but I've kind of proven to him over the years of
that you can do
up and downs that I can do it, and I'm not going to give up until it happens. But
I love that. Well, so let's keep going on that. So you started childhood professional dancer, always hungry, always going. How did that translate as you got older? It seems like it's obviously you've kept your drive, right?
Yeah.
How?
You're still selling fake tickets.
Yeah, I know, right? Please come to my classes. It's so funny. There's actually a story that just popped in my head because I like forgot. There's so many funny stories from when I was a kid. Yeah. But what were you saying? So I still have my drive and
so how did that translate past childhood, right? So as you started growing up,
so right around senior year is when I was in the middle of like I was questioning whether I was going to go to college, like all my friends and my siblings and do the
and Kelly's
college
like go
thing.
Against the grain.
Yeah.
Do I need it?
Or was I going to go to LA and like be a background dancer for Beyonce? Like literally that's what I would tell people. Like I'm going to background dance for Beyonce. Like I want it to happen. Like I'm going to be on a huge stage and I'm going to go tour the entire world and I'm going to work my ass off till it happens.
Kelly.
Literally. And my dad would be like, "Oh my God, Kelly, like what are you doing? Like Hollywood's the worst place ever. You're going to go there. It's like you're gonna be miserable. It's gonna be so hard to get a job. There's so much competition out there. You're never gonna make money. You're never gonna make enough money where you're gonna be able to like support yourself and your family. You have to think 10 years down the line." And I think I was just so consumed in this bubble of like dance, and I was so passionate, and I'm like, I've worked my entire life, 18 years, 18 years of my life, like to get to this moment, and now I don't want to just throw it away and go to college just because all my friends are doing it, and that's what the norm is, and that's what you're supposed to do. Yeah. And finally my dad was like, okay, then let's meet halfway, go to a dance performing arts school. Let's try it out. So he took me to New York, I auditioned, got in, and like about 7 months in, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And I remember I was going home for Thanksgiving and I was like basically a college dropout, you know? And I was talking to all my friends and stuff like that, and I was so ashamed to admit to people that I had a freshman, like all my friends were like, oh, like what major, like, oh, how's school going, or like what's your plans, like what are you thinking of doing? And I'm just like,
I fucking hate it.
I know, I'm like, I don't, and I just remember feeling so ashamed, like talking to my friends' parents and stuff like that, and then looking at my dad and just saying like, I gave up on school. Like I don't give up on anything. Like if I want it, I'm not gonna give up. And I felt like I failed, and I failed my family, and I just, I lost a lot of value that I thought I had, like, you know, that I had in myself. And that's when I kind of decided to be like, you know what, I'm gonna run and I'm gonna go to LA, and I'm gonna do it, because if I don't do it, I'm gonna always regret it.
And you have to prove everyone wrong.
And I felt like I had to prove, exactly.
Since you went off the path, you're like,
I'm
gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it so big
100%.
that you're all gonna be like,
totally.
I told you so.
But I think that it also
we clicked the clothes thing, because
we're Instagram live right now.
I'm like, yes. I don't even know if people can hear me. Are people hearing me?
Yeah, they definitely
Are they? Cool.
But so I think that the coolest thing about this is because you wanted to prove people wrong, but your drive, because I feel that when, I don't know, my parents cared so much about college, right? And I thought about dropping out, right? But I couldn't do it because my parents cared so much about it. But you had that drive so much, and you knew yourself so well that you're like, I'm still going to do this.
It didn't feel right. It didn't feel right.
And I knew that,
like so
from
amazing.
the bottom of my heart, I really, if I wouldn't, because like, I was very fortunate. Like my parents helped me through college and helped all my siblings through college. Like I had a great life. Like I could go to New York, Manhattan. I was able to like have the support of my family to bring me there and like go to these awesome night parties. And like I could have just done that for 4 years and then just like lived the life like all my friends are doing and not really thinking about the future. But I was like, living in that moment, I was like, I don't want to waste time. I want to figure out, I know that I'd be in a group of people and I knew that I was different, but I didn't know why I was different. I just felt in my heart that I was different. And I was like, I don't want to just keep going through the motions every day and 4 years from now be like, what did this degree actually give me? Life experience? No, because I'm doing the same thing every single day. And to me, like, I think what has grown, why I've grown so much and why I've learned so much and why I feel like my gift is the fact that I've experienced so much and I've met so many different types of people and I've been in so many situations where I have felt uncomfortable and I have felt like the lowest person in the room with like the least amount of confidence, and like I felt like I was able to overcome that and like meet people and still put myself out there and like be humble. And like that's why I'm so humble now, is because I know what it feels like to be like that person in the room where you're like, God, like I don't want anyone to like ask me what I do, or like I don't even know what I do. Like who am I?
So real. That is
like
so. I've never heard it so real like that.
Like it's true. Like I know what that gut feeling of like, I don't want them to ask me where I went to college, or I don't want that person to ask me like, what are you doing with your life? Because I didn't know.
Yeah, I find it interesting because, you know, especially people that have a background with maybe a more well-off family, it's very unlikely to see someone stem from that and say, I'm not going to take that traditional route and I'm just going to kind of go and do my own thing. And even so, even if it's like I'm going to go to, you know, fashion school, or I'm going to go to, you know, an art school, an acting school, you took the step to say, I kind of know what I want deep down inside. Maybe I don't know exactly what it is, but I know that it's something out there.
Absolutely, exactly.
And I can completely relate with that.
Yeah,
so I think that's impressive, and it takes a lot of guts to do that. And
thank you so much. And I did I knew through all those like bad moments where I felt like I didn't have confidence, I genuinely have always just like loved myself as a person. And that's like, it sounds kind of crazy, but like it's crazy. Like I've always had this like love for myself and this like pride of myself. Like I didn't know exactly why. I didn't feel confident in some situations because I didn't feel like, I'm like, oh, Kelly, like you're gonna be somebody, but you're not this person right now. And it would piss me off that I'm like not there yet. You know what I mean? So like I knew, but I just knew in the bottom of my heart, like I'm gonna go for this because I'm gonna be set and I'm gonna prove everyone wrong and I'm gonna make my family proud, and it's just gonna take me through a different journey, and it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna have a ton of ups and downs, but I was never worried for a second, like, is Kelly gonna be okay? I knew I was gonna be set.
That a girl.
You know? I never did. Even at like 19, I was just like, I'm gonna be set. It might take a little longer, and it's gonna be hard. But no one's gonna pay my bills. I'm not gonna depend on anyone. And I'm gonna take care of myself. And I always had that feeling. So I think that helps a lot.
But you did that, and you did that in real time.
Right.
So you see, you're like, I'm done with college. I'm gonna go to LA. Tell your story about how you went to LA. You literally are the perfect example of ditching the safety net.
I love
you
it.
literally ditched it, and I want you to tell that story.
Yeah, so I went out to LA, and one of my friends that I met in New York who I danced with, she's amazing, by the way. She's actually dancing with Taylor Swift right now on tour, and it's just, it's so great to see that. But I moved out there, and I didn't know anyone besides her, and so I literally slept on her couch, and I was like, had no money. My family was like, if you move out there, we're not going to support you. Luckily, like, my family will always have my back. Like, they will support me and love me no matter what. Right? Yeah. It's the culture, but they were so upset. Like, my mom was devastated, and my dad was just pissed. Like, my mom was devastated because she's more of my emotional, like, best friend. My dad's like wicked hard on me, and he's just like, kid, like, you're an idiot. Like, basically, you shouldn't be going out to LA. Like, this is gonna. You're gonna get nothing accomplished, and you're gonna just be coming home to me with your tail between your legs. I'll never forget he said that to me. He's like, you're gonna go out there, and then you're gonna come back with your tail between your legs and say, Dad, you were right.
Oh my God.
And I was like, when he said that to me, it ate me alive, and I was like, shit, I can't do that. Like, I can't come back with my tail between my legs and say, Dad, you were right. Like, I have to make it right. I have to make it work.
Like, you had that expectation.
So I felt like this crazy pressure.
Those things are so impactful, though. I had the same thing. Like,
really?
my dad, I moved out when I was 16. My dad's just like, oh, yeah? Well, you know you have to pay for paper towels.
Yeah.
You know you have to pay for toilet paper.
Yeah.
You know you have to buy food. I'm like, I'll show you.
Where do you fall in the 7?
Third youngest.
I was gonna say that definitely the youngest.
Yeah, I'm technically the middle child.
Gotcha.
And everyone says I have middle child syndrome, and I've been called the black sheep my entire life. So it's like I'm the one that gets picked on. I'm the one that, like, everyone just, like, jokes around about.
That's
like,
why she's so tough, though, right?
Yeah,
That's why you can take
it's definitely. I'm tough, but I'm definitely, like, super sensitive too, because, like, I have so many different personalities, but I'm sensitive in a way where I care about what my family thinks about me. Yeah. Now, if Joe Schmo walks across the street and says, Kelly, like, I hate your leggings, you're a piece of shit, I'd be like, bye, like, cool.
Yeah.
I don't care.
But when your dad's
people when it's my dad and the people who I know me as a person and love me as a person, when they're mad at me or when they're upset with me, that's like, really I can't take it. It hits me hard.
So that drove you in LA. That's what was driving you.
So that drove me in LA, and I danced, and honestly, like, it was just not as sustainable. When I turned 21, I just remember my Nana passed away, and when she passed away, it was kind of like the most devastating thing for our family. It was the biggest loss we've ever had. And so her passing kind of woke me up a little bit in a way where, like, I don't want to live my life away from my family. Yeah. I'm gonna put career down there for a second, and I'm gonna find, like, what makes me happy, and that's my family, being around the memories and having those memories together, and, like, being with my siblings. Yeah. I don't want to live across the country. Who are these people that I know in LA? Like, they don't even like me. Yeah. I didn't have any true friends. Yeah. No, like, I didn't have anyone I could call up and be like, I really need your help. You know? So I was like, I need to put that first in my life, family first, and that I was always putting Kelly first, like, my career, my dance first. Yeah. And when she passed away is when I was just like, you got to check yourself, like, families first. And so that's what made me move back. I ended up just leaving LA. I've never gone back since.
You've never gone back?
No, I moved back when I was 21. I've never been to California since.
What happened when you came back? To be honest,
I don't like California. No offense to anyone. No offense from there.
What about
I'm
New
a
York?
Boston girl. I like New York.
So?
I like New York. I think both New York and LA, doing those two things is 100% why I am who I am today. If someone told me, Kelly, I'm going to give you Booty by Brabants at 19 years old and you're going to be successful at 19. I'm going to give you the company like this as it is. I'm going to give it to you, put it on your lap, and take it over. I'd be like, I don't want it. I don't want it. Because it wouldn't be authentic, it wouldn't be real, and it won't be successful. Because what's made Booty by Brabants successful and why I'm 28 and I'm where I'm at now is because of all the experiences, like so many downs, like very little ups.
Well, you said you were at your bottom.
I was at the bottom of the bottom, like zero self, like, worth. Like, I had self-love but not worth. Like, I was just like, I could be doing so much more. Like, what am I doing with my life? And that pissed me off so much because I think that, like, my parents have given me everything. My mom has bent over backwards for me and has been so supportive of anything that I do. Like, she always has my back. And the same with my dad. My dad has been just, like, that type of dad that's just there for every moment in your life, for all siblings. I don't know how he does it with all 7 of us. But he's, like, involved in everyone's business. So like, impressive. We have family dinners every Sunday since we were kids.
Love that.
Yeah,
Love
so
that.
My family are very, like, involved in our lives, and I just felt like I was not giving back like I should. And I was like, I want to get to a point one day when I'm giving everything that they gave to me, I want to give that back to them. And with the journey that I'm on right now, with what I'm doing right now, I'm not going to be able to do that. So I just got on a plane, literally came back, and when I got back was the toughest 2 to 3 months of my entire life.
Why?
It wasn't even LA. Because I came back and you can't dance in Boston because there's no like professional dance scene. I didn't know if I wanted to go back to school. All my friends were away in college. I had no friends. I was now living back at my parents' house. My dad was still pissed at me.
Yeah, what was your dad's reaction when you came back?
I said to him, like, you were right. I had to, because if I didn't, he would just make me say it eventually. And I was just like, you know what, you were right. But now it's funny, because him and I will, like, sit down and have a drink together, and he's like, I look at, because my dad did the same exact, his story is like for another day, but another podcast. But he kind of did the same thing. So like now it's like even around Christmas time, him and I were just sitting at the bar and like we stayed up to like 3 a.m. talking, just drinking and talking about business. And he's only said he's proud of me like twice in his entire life, and one was via text, and I still have that text. I screenshotted it. Now he's like saying he's like more like proud of me, but when he said he was proud of me right around like Christmas time this year, he was like, I just always knew you were gonna do it. I just wanted you to win. He's like, I just pushed you because I knew by pushing you were gonna win. And like now, like all that hard love and that tough love, he's like, I did my job. I did my job as a father.
It's the butterfly effect, though, because that whole journey and all the bumps and bruises along the way are what led you to here. You probably would never even been in the fitness industry. Your mom probably wouldn't have got you those leggings, right? And so it's just like
absolutely
there's a purpose and a reason for everything.
Oh yeah.
And so I came across that when I was reading up today. So I love the tough love story.
Yeah, the tough love is everything. I mean, you can't. I don't know. Like now, it's like I preach this so much. Like you can't just always tell people, or you can't just always be getting like awesome, like great job, you're killing it, like oh my god, your company's so amazing. Like when I hear from outsiders, I appreciate every nice compliment, obviously, but with the people that are around you trying to build your business and everything like that,
embrace failure.
Embrace failure.
So cute. I love that you guys are taking it.
It leads me to our next question.
I
think you know, and you touched on this when we were talking before we went live, right? Your father was an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And even though he gave you tough love, and even though he only said I'm proud of you a couple of times, do you think it was just that mentality of growing up that kind of pushed you into the direction that you're in now? Or do you think it's just, you know, again, something you were born with?
Yeah, I think it's, you know what, it's a mixture of everything. I think I wasn't born with knowing how to start a business, because I still don't know how to do. I fake it till I make it. Literally, people are like, "How do you do this?" I'm like, "I'm learning every day. I'm YouTubing like how to put up SKUs on Shopify and write descriptions and how to all this stuff, because I literally don't even know. I don't even know what I'm doing, and so I have to fake it till I make it. But I think I was born with this passion that not a lot of people have, and it's so crazy. Like people are like, my dad now, or people are just like, "You're so passionate," and I'm like, it's not because I try. Like, I don't want people to look at me and be like, oh, this is just such an act. Like, she's so passionate, she's so positive. Like, we all have bad days, we all have shitty days, but I was born with this like fire passion that no one can take away from me. You could take away my business tomorrow and copy me, copy the class, copy the leggings, and call it Booty by Brian or whatever. I don't even know. It's just my first B name.
Have money and fuel.
And have all the money and have all the money in the world and copy me and put me out of business. And I would be like sad for a couple days and devastated and be like, shit, what do I do? And then I'd be like, all right, now on to the next. How can I do this?
Well,
how can I
is
start something else and make it amazing?
You have the do it big or go home mentality.
Yeah.
And that's what every entrepreneur needs.
The unrelenting hunger. The unrelenting.
Yeah, I just like, I have this hunger to just be successful, like in any way. I just want to like feel like, and another thing with entrepreneurs is not ever feeling like not good enough or like successful enough. I never, and it's an issue. I think it's definitely a problem. But
you feel
when I speak,
isolation too. We talk about this.
When I speak to entrepreneurs, it's like comforting for me, because I'm like, do you like not really enjoy like the good moments sometimes and just kind of stay like crushing and just keep driving forward? And it's hard for us to be like, oh, that was kind of cool. And it's hard to be like, I'm doing a good job. I don't do that like ever. And I think that's what makes someone different than just like, because some people get so excited about money and success and they just get so consumed about that they lose their vision and their passion and why they're actually doing it in the first place. And that's why businesses don't succeed, because all they want to do is make money quick.
And too much self-praise.
And too much self-praise and thinking I'm the shit. Like, the second that I feel like I'm the shit or I'm better than anyone else is the second that someone better check myself. My dad better be like, sit down. Sit down, kid, because you're not even close. You're not even close.
Sounds like we all need, her dad in
exactly.
our
mentor me, please?
No, seriously.
No, we just need him in here just yelling at us, just like cracking the whip, being like,
no, he does. He's great at that. He's great at that. It's just you have to always feel like you can learn something from everyone. Like even you guys sitting here, I feel like just your personalities and what you guys have to offer, I'm learning just a little thing about you, and you guys are inspiring me, really, what you guys are doing. And I look at you guys all as individuals, and you guys are all just really unique in your own ways, and that's what makes it really important. That's what makes you guys successful, is you as a person, your personality, and all that stuff. You're so cute.
So going back to what you had just touched on a little bit, and just the fact that really, people talk about this idea of entrepreneurs are born, they're not made, and
totally.
You just have this fire in you.
Yeah.
And so I just really, I had come across when I was reading up on you, the fact that you talk about starting a business for the right reasons. Thank you, Sam. And a lot of the best entrepreneurs of all time talk about this. Is you don't want to sit down one day and say, oh, I'm going to start a business. Let's start brainstorming. What you did is you put something out there, and what I love about it is really the business people talk about now. There was a whole journey before that. There was a whole lead up to that. It was you created a movement. You inspired people. You had them come into your classes, and then you seeded something out into the world, and you started getting a positive response. And then you were like, "Okay, Mom, I found gold." Right?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Mom, I found gold.
I love that.
And you put that out. You put that out into the world, and you were right. You had come across something, and you did what most good entrepreneurs are really good at doing. And they listen, and they're aware of what's actually going on.
Totally, and finding the demand in the market and knowing who your customer is.
Yeah.
I was able with my class, so I started the whole idea because I was a personal trainer at Equinox for 4.5 years.
Yeah, tell this story of how it.
So I ended up coming
Boston,
back.
Boston was the shift to
so I
fitness.
shifted to Boston, started personal training at Equinox. I did 4.5 years at Equinox, and honestly, I always say this to me, and which is why I have my own company, but I'm still a loyal member, and I teach one class a week at Equinox, just because it's kind of like where I started, and I love Equinox for that, because it was my stepping stone. It brought my confidence back. Equinox gave me that confidence that I needed to start Booty by Brabants,
Yeah.
So I kind of was really, I just dived into being a personal trainer. I just started to connect with my clients, and just seeing how much they enjoyed working out with me was the confidence that I got from them. I was like, wait, you really like these sessions? You keep buying more sessions with me? And then they would train with me 2 to 3 years. For 2 to 3 years, I had clients for a long time, and they would just be like, Kelly, you've impacted my life so much. I would go to their weddings, they invited me to their weddings, their 30th birthday parties. I started to become friends with my clients to the point where they would text me and be like, oh, I'm having a bad day, talk to me just as a friend. And that just clicked. Everything clicked in that in those years where I was just I can really impact people's lives, and I can help them not only in their health and fitness journey, but also in their just emotional and mental journey, and just to help them when they're having a bad day, and to be that person, a therapist kind of literally. I love that. I was that person where they could talk to and lean on, and I was just, it's kind of a confidential hour of just chill. I always wanted to make sure that they left their session in a good mood, smiling, happy, and just feeling lighter, And so by doing that, I realized well, I love doing my one-on-ones, but how can I scale this, and how can I reach more people at one time? And then coming back to it, I always knew I was gonna have my own business. I've never worked for anyone, so besides working at a restaurant, but I've never had a boss, a legit boss.
Yeah.
I just knew I was always going to be my own boss. I was going to figure it out, but I didn't know what exactly it was going to be. And then that's when I came up with the concept Booty by Brabants. And I remember telling my best friend Libby about the name, and we were living together in the North End. It was late at night, and I was waking up at 5 a.m. to train, and I would be coming home at 7 p.m. So I just didn't want that lifestyle anymore. I was I want to work less and make more, work efficiently, work hard, and make more than what I'm doing now. Work smarter, not harder. Exactly, exactly. So I went into her room and I go, what do you think about the name Booty by Brabants? And she was like, I love it. And that was before J-Lo came out with the song Booty. So it was literally like...
Can I interrupt one second? You were building your brand the whole time, because I also, when doing my homework, you're in the gym building your brand, and you're in your gym outside of your normal hours of training, and you're working your butt off, and you're connecting with people, and you're showing and pushing out that energy that I think is the reason that you've been able to scale this.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, so actually a good thing about that is an amazing thing that I've been telling people, and I started to realize it this year, actually, when I started to like see more competitors, or when I started to see the reality and the ups and downs, and how kind of hard it is to have a business in like this industry and stuff, and like how you have to be people are such haters and all that stuff, right? And there's so many people trying to compete with you and trying to knock you down. So with all of that, this year I kind of realized like it's not so much Booty by Brabants that makes me great. It's Kelly Brabants that makes me great.
Yes, I love that.
And my reputation has started since I was born. Yeah. And through school, I've never, like, it's very hard for someone to say, like, oh, that girl's a bitch, like, or have a bad reputation. I've been building my reputation through New York, through LA, through the people that I walk down the street and say, hey, what's up?
Through Thank You Las Vegas.
Even through Thank You.
Since day one.
I wonder if Emily Beals is watching this right now. She might be, but she has to talk about it. That's one of my best friends. But yeah, so I've been building my reputation for 28 years, right? And I have such a strong reputation. I feel like I've really been this like good person.
You've been working towards it.
I feel like at the end of the day, Booty by Brabants does not define me. These pants don't define me. Kelly Brabants defines me. Like I said, if everything were to crash and burn, Kelly Brabants is still gonna have her head held high. Kelly Brabants can go do something else.
If it's not pants, it's something else.
If it's not pants, it's something else. I want it to be pants, and I'm pretty confident it's gonna be pants. It's gonna be workouts. It's gonna be a beauty line. I don't know, but it's gonna be all these things. But it's not about that. Like if we could all work more on our reputation and being a good person, we'd all be more successful in whatever we do. Absolutely. But sometimes we're just so focused on like the money and the business, when if you were just to take a step back, it's who you are that's gonna be successful and make money and all that stuff, and how you connect with people. The business is just your job. Yeah. But life is so much more than a job.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You can't just be present and nice to people when you're working. You have to be present and nice to people when you're out and no one else sees you, and you have to do things like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I just think that's so important. Everyone tries to like use their Instagram handle as like that's who they are, and they put so much energy into that, and I'm like, Instagram is literally just the best parts of your life. Yeah. It's not who you are, and it's not what defines you. If I were to lose my Instagram account, that would suck. I'd probably not sell as many leggings as I am right now. But I have to figure out a way, how would I rebuild it? How do I rebuild it? But that's not me. My Instagram, Booty by Brabants, is not me. And I think that, if I could like spread that to everyone, I think
we need to.
Super important.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, just really quickly. I think that close it again. Get that live up. I think the coolest thing about Booty by Brabants and you in general is that your business is in like has so much of your personal empathy and compassion and humbleness brewed into it. Your leggings are one size fit all. It's a family company. Like everything that you're doing is so real. It's not just an Instagram account. It's a business. It's like you're building like an empire that's like run and like fueled by Kelly's energy, right?
Yeah, and I want it to like always be that way. And now as you grow, it's funny because I'm talking a lot about like the good things and being a good person, and all that's super important, but then you have to switch over and be like an actual business person, because when there's a shit ton of money involved, you got to be smart. Yeah. Being a good person isn't really gonna, you can't be dumb. You know what I mean? So I have to switch gears sometimes and be like, okay, now I got to think business. I got to think numbers, and like, what's my return on this and that, and what am I going to project? What are my projected sales in 6 months, in a year? What kind of supply do I need to hit those goals? What are customers not liking? What are customers asking for? Like, how can I make this silhouette even better so that it's more durable? Or what colors are not really selling, so I should take them off the shelf? I flew to Brazil last week just to fix a waistband on a pair of leggings.
Really?
Literally. And we spent 8 hours literally just cutting the leggings and just figuring out the waistband, because I just knew it wasn't perfect, and I knew that if she were to keep sending them back and forth, it was going to take too long, and I don't have the time. So I go, Dad, I need to go right now. So I left the day after. I had my launch party on Saturday, and I left the morning after my launch party. I went out there and we got it done, but I go, do you think I want to, like, I'm not saying that I'm complaining about going to Brazil, but when I go there, it's not like a vacation that people think it is. Like, I snap the good parts, you know?
You snap the good parts.
I snap
but
the good parts.
Working.
Yeah, I just feel like
working.
people don't really need to know, like, the bad, like,
and I just want to jump in real quick. I think, you know, a lot of what we've been talking about is so, like, such a massive takeaway, especially for these other influencers that we have within our network and the other influencers that are listening right now too. And I think that one thing I really want to touch on is, and you're saying it right now, the difficult points that you come across in trying to figure out how to maintain the balance between, you know, building up an Instagram and the marketing of it to the actual business side and the hustle and the grittiness that you have to have in there.
It's literally
so, like,
exactly
what are the
that.
hardest parts that you like, and what are the hardest challenges?
Yeah, that's such a good question, because that's actually, like, worded perfectly, because Instagram sometimes, like, it's a job, but then it's like, it's such a tough job. Really, I give credit to, like, influencers. I'm not, like, knocking anyone. I'm an Instagram influencer, I guess. Yeah. But I give credit to people who are posting all the time, because it is hard. Like, I don't do stories that much, and I don't really post, like, as much as I should. Like, people are always like, Kelly, you need to post more, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, it is a freaking hard job. Like, I don't look good all the time. Just be like, hey, guys, what's up? Most of the time, I have no makeup on, and I'm leaving my class, and I look like a drowned rat, and I'm, like, exhausted. I'm like, the last thing I want to do is, like, hey, like, what's up? How's your day? Like, I don't do that, you know? But, like, maintaining my Instagram following and the photos and the content is so hard. But then what other people don't understand, too, is, like, that's just like a sliver. It's such a sliver in my business that my dad doesn't even talk about it.
Yeah. No way. He doesn't talk about it at all.
I'm not kidding you. He's like, you figure your Instagram and you figure it out. But, like, look at all of, it's like, I'm not kidding you. This is the Booty by Brabants business. Instagram is like this. Yeah. But Instagram is what sells the leggings. So it's crucial, but when I come time-wise and, like, what we actually have to focus on is so much more than just posting a photo. It's like the product. To me, I have so much pride in the name Booty by Brabants that I'm not gonna put a piece of shit legging with my name on it and just sell it to anybody to make a couple bucks.
It's marketing versus operations, and I think that's such an important thing for a lot of these young entrepreneurs to really understand, is that marketing comes in big wavelengths, but unless you have a very high-end or valuable product, none of it matters.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you're not amazing customer service, if you're not treating your customers like gold, your customers are always number one. You're always wrong. Your customers are right. And that was a great
that's what my mom said, the exact same thing to me.
My dad gave me that advice too. Yeah. So it's like, I have bad days and I'm like, but at the end of the day, the girls who come to my classes, the people who buy my leggings, they're number one. So I could have the shittiest day, like, horrible, don't want to get out of bed, and I have those days, we all do. When I go into my class, I'm like, Kelly, they paid to come take your class. Remember 4 years ago when you started this and you were renting out a studio in Chinatown and begging people to come and no one would show up, and I'd pay rent and no one would show up, and I would bring my mats and be in an empty space by myself and go home crying. It was my first couple months starting Booty by Brabants.
The first class was a little iffy, I read.
It was shaky. My voice was shaking. I was, like, really freaking out, and it was a free class, but I just never gave up. My dad was like, this is such a bad idea.
What kept you going after that night that you went home crying? What?
Just because I knew it was going to happen. I just knew for a fact.
This is the energy too. So you just touched on exactly what I was going to go into.
Yeah.
But what Abby and I talked about, we talked about this briefly before starting here, but the importance of energy. And Abby and I say, bottle up your energy and feed yourself a daily dose. Because, like,
spray it on yourself, feed yourself,
I love
take
that.
it, whatever.
Yeah, because on, like, day one as an entrepreneur, like, you're ready to go. Like, you're running through a wall. But there's tough days, and so I first of all want to talk about the idea of energy and the fact that I think your energy that you put out is what's allowed you to scale this empire, like Abby said.
Thank you.
But then also sort of this gray line of we're in a social media world now, being transparent and having that understanding and not trying to put on too glorious of this perfect life.
Totally.
But then also feeding people what they need to inspire them as a fitness influencer. Right?
Absolutely. And that's really hard for me because, actually, you'd be surprised to hear this, but this is just me being super honest.
Love it.
I'm, like, really, like, I'm not insecure at all, but, like, insecure with what I post and being too vulnerable. Like, I just, like, I'm so, like, scared, honestly, to, like, have someone just, I don't know, like, if people who aren't, like, nervous about being hated on, they're lying, like, on social media, like, they're lying. Like, I'm trying to be like, oh, I'm so confident, like body positivity, like everyone's self-love, cool.
Let me just say one thing
but
real
there's
quick here.
freaking what?
I think it's the fact that you're a beautiful girl,
Oh,
but
thank
you
you.
want people to also take you as a serious businesswoman. I think that's like we did a great.
And like just being dead honest, like thank you so much. And like I this is very raw because now you guys know my personality. I don't look at myself as like this like beautiful girl. Like I pick myself apart like no other.
Yeah.
And I pick myself apart, and then I'll be like, all right, it's fine. Like I get over it. And I'm like, Kelly, get over yourself. But I'll look at a picture of myself and analyze it and be like, this is horrible.
That's
I
what
can't
social
post
media
this.
does.
We
And I'll
have
send
to
it.
be our worst critics, though, because if you
Right.
stop doing that, then that ceases your growth.
Exactly,
right there.
and it's
you
not-
always need
Well,
something
no,
else
I
to look
actually
forward
think
to.
that I
Totally.
actually disagree with that. I think it's the mindset that you can look at yourself and you can say, "Shut up,"
Yeah.
and go on and build something. I actually disagree.
But
I think
you
that
want to
it's,
continue to be a critic with
Not when it comes
No.
to physical.
I
appearance.
not. I think it's
physical
saying
appearance difference.
you
yes.
can be a
I do.
critic.
I honestly though, I
bit
can't
of
see what
both,
you're
though.
saying though.
Yeah.
I being honest in my whole, and I'm so much about embracing my body because I used to have really bad body insecurities. When I moved out to LA, there'd be auditions where they straight out would be like, "You're not going to fit into the costume. You have to leave." And I would dance for 8 hours in an audition, get paid $0, and at the end, like, I was the biggest one in the room, and like my
Right.
thighs were too big, my butt was too big, and I just had these horrible insecurities about my body. And now it's like, I'm so proud of my body because I know how strong I am and like what I'm capable of doing, that anyone could tell me like whatever, and like I just know that I'd overcome it. Yeah, it would hurt. It would sting a little bit. But, oh, like if there's gonna be haters, I'm gonna. But I just like I love like every inch of myself, and that sounds so weird, but like I genuinely think that I can like do anything. Like not not in a cocky way, but I just.
No, I love
Because you're gonna
built
put the
this,
work in.
like-
You're gonna put the work in. You're
I'm gonna put
be
the work
persistent.
in. Yeah, and but I think it is with like the whole thing with social media and stuff, like trying to put yourself out there and still look authentic and relatable is the hardest part because you want to put the best picture out there, and then sometimes there are people like, that's not real life. Like, Kelly, like you're not like your hair is not and makeup's not perfectly like that, and like you're not like holding a tennis racket like I just posted like a tennis racket picture or whatever. I'd have never played tennis in my life, and it was just super modelly, you know. It was super modelly, but it was to show the clothes, and then the photo right after that was like a picture of me and my dad like hanging out.
Yeah.
Because I want people to see like, yeah, I have to sell my shit, so I gotta look good and do photos and be all glammed up, but I'm also the Kelly that you guys know and that you believe in. I'm over here with my dad hanging out. We're in the back of his truck picking up the boxes of leggings to bring him into the warehouse. So I try to make sure that I'm showing them both sides of me. Like it's you. I want them to see like the down to earth Kelly, and then I also want them to see like the confident. Like I have to. If I don't promote myself, who's gonna promote me?
Yeah.
I love it.
I heard a quote. Sorry to interrupt
No.
you. I heard a quote today that said, "You got to make people think about yourself, about you. You got to annoy them. You got to talk to them. You got to do it because nobody's thinking about you.
Exactly.
Nobody. You're
No
not
one's
in
thinking about
anybody's
you, and
head.
like honestly, even like your own family. Like sometimes my family's too busy to like help me. Like you're on this journey, like by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, but like you're literally like you're kind of. I'm not that I'm on this journey alone. I have a huge team, but when it comes to like promoting Booty by Brabants, it's 100% up to me. If I stopped, the business would stop. I have a
Cease to
team,
live, yeah.
but it's all about me. And like my dad always, he jokes around. He's like, Kelly's because he's obsessed with the Patriots, so I'm not comparing myself to Tom Brady. Please don't think I am, but my dad's a die-hard Boston sports fan, like the most die-hard ever. And he always says like, Kelly's the Tom Brady of the family.
TB12.
And everyone has to find their role. I'm the coach. My dad's like, I'm the coach. And I'm like, all right,
Coach
Dad, you're the coach. Yeah. He's like, I'm Bill. And then he'll be like, Liz, like my sister's amazing at PR and just like
That's
write.
so
My
funny.
sister's a really good writer. So like my dad will be like, this is your job. And Joey, you're great at logistics and customer service. That's your job. So he like is building us like a football team. You know what I mean? And he'll like sit down and be like, whatever Kelly needs to be the best quarterback, we're gonna do it.
That's the way that Gronk runs his entire team and his entire business aspect.
I know, I
of
love
his
it.
brand.
Exactly.
It's all within the family. It's dad running as Bill Belichick, the coach,
Yeah.
and then it's the brothers running in all other
It's a
aspects.
team,
And
and,
then
like,
he's
Can we get
sitting
a
there as
Gronk
complete- yeah.
Brabant like collab here?
Oh my
like,
God, let's do it.
that would be-
Imagine.
Hey, shout out Gronk. Next time you want to come on GroundUp, you know where to find us. Let's go.
Oh my God, he will. He totally
Love that.
will. He's so nice.
No, this is great. I want to wrap up with a really, I think that the important thing is that you have so much energy. You have such a passion for your family and for your business.
Thank you.
With all of this in you, what is your best piece of advice for the young entrepreneurs, for the young influencers, for the young hustlers out there? How do you help them build, a real business that stems from passion?
Oh my God, yeah. So the number one thing I'm going to say is, I say it all the time, is just be authentic to yourself, but find yourself first. Don't look at someone and just say, I want to be that person because they're successful, or I want to be that person because they have 1 million followers on Instagram. How can I copy them or do what they're doing and just copy their model? That is you will 150 million% fail if you do that. If you look at someone and if you're jealous of what they have and of their success, and if you want it because they have it, you're gonna fail. 1,000,000%. You have to just, one, find yourself, be a good person. You gotta be a good person. I just don't think good things happen to bad people.
I'm going to take the last question because I'm the birthday boy.
Okay, birthday boy.
Birthday boy.
This is one of my favorite questions, but where is Kelly in 5 years? And,
Love it.
I don't know.
And further than that, what's the mark you want to leave?
Such a great question. Oh my God, 5 years. So my brain is like, I want to do 1 million things. It's funny, we'll have meetings, or we just have creative meetings, and I'll just go, I'm standing up, I'm writing, I'm going crazy, I'm we're gonna do this,
Focus.
We're gonna do this, we're gonna rent out Gillette Stadium one day, and I'm gonna do a class with 50,000 people. My dad's like, whoa, relax, Kelly, let's just get through the week. But at the end of the day, he's like, let's hone in all of that excitement and that
You're
creativity,
the visionary,
and let's try to pick it apart and try to find the little things that we can accomplish. But I do think 5 years from now, I'm hoping that we've tapped into a much bigger market. We're working on New York, Miami, LA, and I just want every girl in the world, it sounds so funny, but to know what Booty by Brabants is. And I don't think that's crazy. I really think that I don't want to compete with Lululemon. I want my customer to buy Lululemon and buy Booty by Brabants. I want their drawers to be filled with leggings that make them feel beautiful, whether it be Booty by Brabants, Nike, and Lulu. I just believe that there's space for all of it.
Yeah.
Your drawer is big enough for every brand. I don't want to compete. That's why I wear Nike. I go to Lulu. I support them. Someone's starting another brand, and I'm cool, awesome. I'll wear it. I just believe that my customer is someone that wants to be healthy, but is, like I said, a good person, is confident, loves athleisure, is going to support me, but is going to support other brands. I'm not worried about the competitor.
Yeah.
I just want to connect, and I want them to know, Booty by Brabants, this is what she is.
Yeah.
She's a legging line, but she's women empowerment. She wants to help other people. She's a good person, and I want them to. I just want more supporters. It's not. I don't want more followers on social media. That's gonna come. You got to grow your social media.
You want to touch as many lives as you can.
But I just want to, and I just want to get into bigger markets. So whether it's my big plan, I guess I could just say it because it's gonna happen. Hopefully, I want to go on a tour. So my goal is to do a year tour where I hit 10 cities, and I do pop-ups, whether it be a truck that has music, and we're doing outdoor classes and selling leggings out of the truck, or I don't know, I find a random hole in the wall space, and I'm hey, can I rent this out for 2 weeks, and do crazy classes on the beach in Miami, and have a bunch of cute girls working for me wearing leggings and selling the pants, and I'm doing big classes, and then we go to the next city, and then we're just kind of bringing this vibe to cities and this energy and this carefree, just put on these pants and let's go,
Love it.
Just bringing the authenticity.
Yeah, just not caring too much. It's just so important to not take life too seriously. Care about your business, be a hard worker, take it serious. I take it very, very serious, obviously. But at the same time, I don't take myself that serious. I have a balance. I go out, have fun, enjoy the moments with my family, my friends. I don't let Booty by Brabants, it consumes me sometimes, and then I'll be no, I gotta go with my friends or go back to my house, and I'll tell my friends today we're not talking about booty. Please don't say the word BB around me. No booty today. I'll be with my dad, we'll be eating, and he'll be and I'm nope.
Don't
for
say the B
the
word.
next
Don't
couple
worry.
hours, we're not talking about BBB. Let's just talk about your day. So I try to find that balance, But yeah, so 5 years from now, I don't know.
I'm so excited to see where you go.
Seriously,
I think you're
me
gonna go
too.
far.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Can't thank you
You guys
enough.
have made me feel so comfortable. I've never done anything like this.
You've literally
ever.
inspired
You're the
us
best.
so much because you're so authentic and so yourself and
Thank
so
you.
infusing yourself into every single thing you do, and that is so hard to come by. So
Thank you for
we
having me.
feel
This is honestly, this is my first ever podcast or interview.
I love it.
So
you're gonna be doing a lot
We gotta
from now on.
bust
I
out.
can
No,
tell.
but I just appreciate you guys having me.
wanna
and,
boost you up,
Yeah,
so
I want to boost you guys up.
whatever-
You guys are the best. Anyone's watching.
Guys, thank you
guys
so much for tuning in.
much.
Kelly, thank you so much. This is the end of GroundUp 3. Happy birthday to Jordan.
Happy birthday.
Kelly, thank you so much.
This is gonna be the best year ever for you.
Signing out.
You're the best.
See you next week.
Thank you again, Kelly.
Yay, thanks,
Thank you.
guys.